Welcome back to J-Rock Soccer and Basketball Sessions, the WESTWOLF podcast. Guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in so very much. Please hit that subscribe button if you have not. And if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. Helps push my video out there even more. But guys, the Los Angeles Lakers defeat the Boston Celtics 117-102 in dominant fashion, thanks to the combined scoring of 71 points to 360. But guys, they got contributions from all over the place. And especially in the third quarter, their defense was very good. And that was what spearheaded a big victory versus the Boston Celtics. We're going to get into why. We're going to get into Russell Westbrook's defense on Tatum. Look, Tatum is Tatum, but he definitely made it hard for him. We're going to make a video on that as well today, so make sure you stay tuned. But guys, we're Boston Celtics versus Los Angeles Lakers right here on the WESTWOLF podcast. Let's get it. Guys, first off, I want to talk about the third quarter defense by the Los Angeles Lakers. Guys, once again, that third quarter is what we all thought we would see from the Los Angeles Lakers at the beginning of the season. Once they got everything put together, only 3 returning players, that's what we thought we would see. They were working so hard defensively, everyone making rotations. Anthony Davis made it for his first half. I thought Anthony Davis was a little passive in the first half, but he made it up in the second half. He was blocking shots, rotating. Monk working so very hard on defense. He's undersized for a 2-guard. We all know that. That's why he struggles. But guys, he's working so hard. He's communicating, doing such a good job on a defensive end as well. Wayne Ellington just chasing people around screens, working hard on defense. Russell Westbrook's defense on Jason Tatum. Guys, look, Tatum is Tatum. He still had 34 and 13 to 22. But you had to have watched the game to appreciate what Russell Westbrook did on Jason Tatum in this game. He was absolutely phenomenal on him. I'm going to make a video on that as well, so make sure you check out and wait for that. LeBron James rotating and making defensive plays. Look, the Lakers still go through stretches that frustrates me in games where I think that they are a little bit lazy. They're not making the rotations. They're gambling and things like that. But that third quarter, once again, is a perfect example of what they could be if everyone just worked hard, made their rotations, and was disciplined. Guys, it was so much fun to watch. Also in that third quarter, guys, I just have to mention it. Russell Westbrook missed the third quarter. I think that Russell Westbrook has taken it upon himself to make sure they do not have any more of those very bad third quarters that we all grew accustomed to in the first 20 games of the season by the Los Angeles Lakers. Russell Westbrook scored 15 points in that third quarter, and like I said, his defense on Jason Tatum was absolutely great on ball. We can get into the on-ball stuff on another podcast, but Russell Westbrook has always been good at the point of attack if he's on the basketball, and he did not fall short of that expectation from me on Jason Tatum. I can't wait to make that video as well. I also have a video of his defense on Paul George. If you want to check it out, you should definitely do so. But the defense in the third quarter, both individually and as a team, was very good. I was very pleased with it. They went on runs in the third quarter. It was just great basketball to watch. The 360 was able to hang up a little bit early, rest those legs. They've only had, I think, that this is their second game in 7 days. So it might be the only game in 7 days. So they're rested, but they got to rest some more. That's how you know it was a good night. We're going to get into the defense was just great. I'm just very happy about it. Like I said, I'm going to make a video on Russell Westbrook's defense on Tatum, so I won't dive into that much more right here on the podcast. But that team defense was very, very good. I mean, Anthony Davis was blocking shots. He had 2 blocks, 2 steals on the night. LeBron James, he was making his rotations, doing what he had to do. Russell Westbrook had a steal. THT, he had 2 steals and a block as well. Dwight Howard had a great block in the second half as well. So they did really good. I won't harp on that too much more. Let's get into the stats of the stars. Like, look, Anthony Davis, I gave him a lot of trouble, specifically in the first half. I think he had 7 points in halftime. It wasn't the shooting. It wasn't that he had 7 points. I thought he was passive, and then I didn't like him getting his lunch took, and that's what I saw. Now, don't get me wrong. Williams the third, I mean, he dunks on a lot of people. Just period. But it just seemed like Anthony Davis was getting the ball taken away from him. He was getting met at the peak, getting a shot blocked. People were ripping the ball away. Plus, he was getting dunked on. It just the combination of it all had me looking at Anthony Davis and saying, can someone please tell him what Charles Barkley said about him earlier today? And it wasn't that I agreed with Charles Barkley. Look, Anthony Davis is averaging 24 and 10. Okay? All right? He's averaging 24 and 10. That boy's a hooper. But I felt like in the first half, he was just getting his lunch took. So I teased him a little bit. And he came in the second half, and he was getting to the rim, dunking on people, finishing through and ones that weren't called. He was screaming at the referee. I liked the fire that he had in the second half. So he made up for it for me. I'm fine with it. He ended with 17 and 16 points, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks for the night. I mean, he's working hard. Did I get him about his first half? I did. I stand by that. I'm not taking that away. But let's stop acting like Anthony Davis is just doing nothing. Not to mention, when Frank Vogel rolls out the starting lineup with Avery Bradley and THT alongside 360, it's not just bad for Russell Westbrook. It's bad to me for all 3 of 360. It's tough spacing for Anthony Davis. It's tough spacing for LeBron James. It's tough spacing for Russell Westbrook. That doesn't just go for us. That's for all of them. And help me understand that, look, we won this game, but I'm going to point this out because it drove me nuts and I tweeted it. If you don't follow me, Russ Westbrook gets a chip at Always and Forever Art on Twitter. Go ahead and do so. I really appreciate it. I usually follow back unless I meet a limit or you got something crazy on your TL. But go check me out. Why is Avery Bradley starting if Russell Westbrook was guarding Jason Tatum from tip? Help me understand that. Why? Why is Avery Bradley starting if it wasn't to guard the other team's best player? I don't get that. So what you starting him for? That's just me. That's just me. I don't get that. Now, that hurts Anthony Davis as much as it does LeBron James and Russell Westbrook. So some of the struggles I saw, I'm thinking, look, he's been a bit passive. I don't like him getting his lunch took, but my gosh, again, you can help him out as a coach. And that lineup just doesn't do that. LeBron James for the night, 13 of 19 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. He had 30 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. He was solid once again. LeBron James doing LeBron James things. Russell Westbrook, to me, he was the guy who put it all together in the third quarter. The momentum, the dunk that he had. He just got the crowd involved, got the team hyped. The entire bench jumped up off their feet. Dwight Howard running down the baseline. It's just a lot of fun. I'll make sure I put that in there for you. But he spearheaded the whole thing to me. He's 5 of 6 from the line, 9 of 16 from the field, 24 points, 11 assists, 3 rebounds, and a steal. He only had 3 rebounds on the night, but I wasn't too concerned with it. The Lakers just they held their rebounding margin by a lot in the game versus the Boston Celtics, so I'm not too worried about that. I mean, Anthony Davis had 16 himself. Carmelo Anthony had 8 rebounds. Dwight Howard had 8 rebounds. It's like they made it a point for the power forwards and centers to make sure they get those boards. So I wasn't too concerned with just 3 rebounds. We know he can get more if he needs to. He didn't have to tonight, so I'm not making that big of a deal about it. Plus, are we really making a big deal about point guards not getting rebounds? Only Russell Westbrook. That's the only one. Maybe Ben Simmons, but other than that, no. Also, THT, he was 5 of 14 from the field. He had 12 points, 0 of 5 from 3. But again, he had some good finishes, some good strong finishes. He had a couple of good defensive possessions. He also had 6 rebounds and 4 assists himself, 2 steals and a block. I still don't think that he's right next to 360 now that we are, 25 games into the season. I don't think that he's correct in that starting lineup. He's just not a starter on a championship team to me. But that's not taking anything away from Tucker. He's 21 years old. He's young, but I don't think he should be starting. Melo, 0 of 4 from 3, 4 of 11 from the field at 9 points. Monk, 4 of 6 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. He had 10 points, 2 assists, and a steal. Like again, Malik Monk, again, he's a walking bucket. We all know he's a bucket getter. I'm not too concerned or too worried about his ups and downs on the offensive end because he's a shooter. He's a scorer. That's what he does. I am impressed with just how hard he's working on defense. And because of how hard he's working on defense, and he's not a negative on defense, he's been solid. I just don't understand not trying him in the starting lineup with 360, outside of the fact that he needs the ball in his hands. If that's your argument, my argument is, well, there was a game, last game, where you could tell 360 was like, he's hot, just let him ride. And so it didn't seem like it was too big of a problem. So I just want to try it. I just want to see it. Ellington makes sense to me. He doesn't need the ball in his hands. He's just a catch and shoot player. I'm fine with that as well. But to just not give it a look, I think is a mistake. But hey, Vogel gets paid millions of dollars to make these coaching decisions. I don't get paid that to make these coaching decisions. That's just my opinion as far as that starting lineup. The Lakers offense, I've been saying it, they're going to score because they got Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Russell Westbrook. But you can make it easier for them by spreading the floor. Shrinking the floor isn't good for any of them. And that's just the truth. Reeves did not play anything but garbage minutes. I still don't quite understand that. I like Austin Reeves. I think he works hard on defense. He can shoot. He can put the ball on the floor, attack a closeout. I don't really understand not playing him at all. But again, they're in the locker room. They're in practice. Maybe there's something they see that I just haven't to this point. I really like Austin Reeves. I don't know why he doesn't get any PT. But hey, we won this game 117 to 102. So what he did worked. They got Memphis. They got at Memphis, at Oklahoma City, and then they play Orlando. Guys, they could very well go on a 4-game winning streak here. I am expecting it. I'm calling it now. 4-game winning streak. They're going to Memphis without Ja, although the Memphis Grizzlies just destroyed. I just couldn't even believe that score was real. Memphis versus OKC. But anyway, Memphis, OKC, and Orlando, they could very well go 4-0. I would be very, very happy about that. And then they got to play Dallas. That'll be a tough game on ESPN on December 15th. So before we know it, guys, they could be 17-12, looking at that 4 seed, and then we'll all be excited about what is to be. 25 games in, looks like they're starting to get it together. Looks like they're starting to work hard on defense. Looks like 360 is starting to mesh, guys. The amount of assists from Westbrook to Anthony Davis, Westbrook to LeBron, LeBron to Westbrook, Anthony Davis to Westbrook. That's chemistry building over these 25 games. It's only going to get better. Guys, everyone should be excited right now. I know I am. They're putting it together. Guys, I can't wait till they start playing some of these juggernauts to just see how it is. But we got to take care of the next 4 games first. Let's take care of the next 4 games, then we'll worry about everything else. They have to start taking care of the teams they're supposed to take care of. Losing to Sacramento and losing to OKC is not acceptable. They need to get those done. Let's play this 1 game at a time. Take care of the teams you're supposed to take care of. Then we'll worry about Dallas and Chicago and all of that. But guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching the WestWolf podcast. I really, really appreciate it. Guys, remember, if you just want to listen to the audio version, I'm on all the major podcast platforms. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, CastBox, and much, much more. So you can go ahead and check that out. But guys, if you enjoyed the YouTube version, please hit that subscribe button, and please hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. I really, really appreciate you guys so much. I will see you all Thursday versus the Memphis Grizzlies. And as always, until next time, peace.
Anywhere near those numbers.
Russell Westbrook, beast mode. Stop.
Well, 50 points now in the paint on that receiver.